what are we doing here?
Don't ask so many questions.
I gotta ask questions. I want to know all about the body you want to hand me.
You'll be fully informed in good time.
What's he look like?
Like 20 millions?
Yeah, but what shape is he in?
Joe, you must be prepared to sacrifice something for what you are getting. Surely, 20 millions is ample compensation for your body, no matter how big it was.
The hell it is. There's nothing like having the old chassis running like a clock. In trim all the time. Getting up in the morning, feeling like you lift the heavyweight champ with one punch. Boy, that's terrific. That's having something on the ball. This one's coming. Better duck.
Quit yanking me around. Can't you remember we can neither be seen nor heard?
Oh yeah, you forget it. Sorry.
I have everything right here.
Is there a baby in the family?
No,
Then what's the nurse for?
she's attending Farnsworth.
But I thought you said he wasn't sick.
He isn't, really. Just a rundown condition.
I ain't never had a rundown condition in my life, and that's because...
Yes, I know, Joe. You're in the pink.
Right. How long do we have to hang around here anyway?
Until I collect Farnsworth.
You mean he's gotta go because of his rundown condition?
No. He's being murdered.
Holy cow! You mean it's going on right now? The murder?
Yes.
Here? In this house?
Yes.
Who's doing it?
Farnsworth's wife. And the man she's in love with.
Huh, nice people you want me to meet. So how are they doing it?
They're drowning him in the bathtub.
Jeez. Come on, let's get out of here before we get ourselves mixed up in it.
Wait.
Not me. I made enough trouble already. I'm gonna keep my nose clean.
Joe.
Look, Mr. Jordan, I'm not switching places with a guy who's got a wife like that hanging around. I'm not punch drunk yet.
It's almost over, Joe.
How can you sit there playing the piano while guys get knocked off?
This is my job, Joe.
Well, you can have it. This place gives me the creeps.
It's almost over.
Let's call the cops.
I'm afraid they'd pay no attention to us. It's all over.
It is? Was the nurse in on it?
Innocently, yes.
How do you mean?
You'll soon find out.
Who's this?
Tony Abbott.
The mug the wife's in cahoots with.
Very much in cahoots.
Funny how women fall for guys like him. What's he do?
He's Farnsworth's confidential secretary. He'll be yours when you're Farnsworth.
The hell he will, because I ain't gonna be Farnsworth.
Mrs. Farnsworth? Joe.
I'm frightened, Tony.
Steady.
I don't know what's suddenly come over me. I can't seem to figure, feeling that something weird, there's something invisible we can't see, hanging over us, watching us.
You said it, sister.
Perhaps the drink will steady you.
Yes.
We have nothing to fear. Everything will go off just as we planned.
That's what you think.
What could be more natural than, after a warm bath, a couple sleeping tablets, that an old man should doze off in the bath?
Doze off. Listen to the murdering bat. Excuse me, Mr. Jordan.
It's quite all right, Joe.
20 millions, my sweet.
And that's...
Of course.
Come on, let's get Farnsworth's soul and get the hell out of here.
Very well, Joe. But I did want you to meet a certain young lady.
Thanks. I don't want to get mixed up with this bunch.
Miss Betty Logan is here to see Mr. Farnsworth?
Show her in.
Yes, sir.
Julia, get a hold of yourself.
I'll be all right, Tony.
You know what she's here for. You need to be kind and sympathetic. You can afford to be. Now,
Hold me close, Tony.
think only of what this means to us. Happiness, freedom. No more yelling. No more hiding.
No matter what comes, I shan't be sorry.
I'll be in the study. If she gives you any problems, send her into me.
Those two must be in love. Is the dame who's coming in on the murder?
Judge for yourself.
Here is Miss Betty Logan. Good evening, Miss Logan. Good evening.
evening, Mrs. Farnsworth.
Gee, Mr. Jordan, I didn't see anything in heaven like that.
Mr. Farnsworth is expecting you. He'll be right down.
What's she talking about? She knows Farnsworth is dead. What? Then how's he gonna be right down?
Dude, sit down.
Thank you.
Drink?
No, thank you.
Cigarette?
Not just now.
That's right, kid. Don't take anything from that man.
I've heard about your forefathers' arrest, but don't worry. I'm sure Mr. Farnsworth can help you. He seems particularly susceptible where you're concerned.
I'm not here to ask any favors, Mrs. Farnsworth. My father is innocent.
But since he is the active head of Logan and Company, and since he did float the Bay Ridge securities,
He was tricked by Farnsworth. But of course you know that as well as I do.
aren't you a bit hysterical, my dear? Surely your father's not a child. He knew what he was doing.
He was tricked by Farnsworth. He was in Europe at the time. He left everything in Farnsworth's hands.
Perhaps you should tell that to Mr. Abbott. He's in the study. I'm sure he can convince you that your father acted solely on his own accord. As a matter of fact, I happen to know it was strictly against the advice of my husband. But you don't have to take my word for it. Come.
I don't like to see that kid in there with those two killers.
She's perfectly safe.
Safe my eye. She's in trouble. She needs our help.
Yes, Joe. Very serious trouble. She worships her father.
Well, you guys can do anything. Get in there. Help her.
It's entirely up to Farnsworth.
But Farnsworth is dead.
Precisely! Oh, he wouldn't have helped her, however. The girl's right. Farnsworth engineered the entire affair. He tricked her father.
You want me to be Farnsworth and have a swell girl like that hate me?
Everyone builds himself, Joe. Through the architectural power of the soul. The power to weave material into a fabric for its covering. You'll make a very different Farnsworth. Spiritually, there will be no change in you.
Yeah, but she won't know that. She'll think I'm the same kind of rat he is. No, sir, Mr. Jordan. I want to help her, but not like that.
There is no other way, Joe.
Well, gee, you've put me in one hell of a tough spot.
On the contrary, it'll be quite pleasant.
Yeah? How do you figure? I have to give up everything. My match with the bomb. My chance at the title. My private life. Everything. I wouldn't be myself anymore. If a guy in himself, what good is he?
You'll always be yourself, Joe. Nothing can change that. You'll merely be putting on his physical appearance, like donning a new overcoat.
It's got to be a pretty good overcoat to last me 60 years. Of course, I could build the guy up physically, like I did myself, couldn't I?
Of course.
Sure. Plenty of exercise, fresh air, lots of wholesome food, lots of.
I'm sure you'll do wonders with him. Your spirit will be young, vibrant, vital.
Hey, will, fit him? I mean, will he fit me?
As you are now, purely spirit, to fit you inside a net.
Big guy like me?
Very comfortably.
Boy, you guys can sure do tricks with us.
To understand the physical body, one must first comprehend the nature of the earthly body, discarding the atomic theory and
All I
eliminating
know about my body is that if I give it plenty of exercise, plenty of wholesome food, plenty of fresh air, plenty of,
Yes, I know, Joe. It'll be in the pink.
can't miss. Now that you see the correspondence between your father and Mr. Farnsworth, perhaps you realize.
There's nothing you can say or show me that will convince me that my father's done anything wrong. He hasn't taken a penny from anyone. He couldn't. Now, will you tell Mr. Farnsworth I'm here, or do I have to go to his rooms unannounced?
Don't do it, Miss Logan. You'll get yourself mixed up in the killing.
Have you announced it once? Miss Zanes.
Whether your father is guilty or not isn't important. What is important really is, shall we say, politely, you're here to intercede for him.
I'll do anything to save my father.
Yes, I know. Anything. You rang, madame? Yes. Tell Mr. Farnsworth Miss Betty Logan is here. Very well, madame.
What's the idea? That dame knows Farnsworth is dead.
You haven't much time to decide, Joe.
You mean whether or not I want to be Farnsworth?
I mean, whether or not you want to help that girl.
Well, I do. Only
Hurry, Joe.
Don't rush me. This is a very important step in my life. Look, if I do it, it'll only be temporary, right?
If you wish it.
You bet I do. Only long enough to straighten the rap. You better get that clear.
It's quite clear, my boy.
Okay? It's a deal.
Come.
Don't worry, Betty. I mean, Miss Logan, everything's gonna be alright. I'm moving in Farnsworth now. I hope it'll be alright. Gee, Mr. Jordan, I'm beginning to feel funny already.
My beloved has reserved a stateroom on the Isle de France sailing Wednesday. Of course you'll sail with him, for your father's sake, naturally. Paris, enchanting this time of year. The flower and the boy, pretty new clothes, music and dance, divine, really. I must give you a list. You shouldn't want to miss all of the charming places he and I spent our honeymoon. I sure want you to miss them.
I hardly thought you'd permit such an arrangement, Mrs. Farnsworth.
Oh, why not? It wouldn't last. I know my husband. He's a fool for a pretty face. You'd merely be another feather in his cap.
As are you.
Oh, you're around, Miss Logan.
Mr. Farnsworth will be right down, Miss Logan.
No, that's